Schmelzinger towards goal. Schmelzinger works in. Save made. Score! Here's Lake for Colgate. That pass is intercepted. Dummigan works in. Dummigan around Van Kempen. Scores! It's the Big Green who win it in overtime. Riley Dummigan, her first goal of the season. They've got Palmer looking like she's the shooter at the top. They do set it for her. Palmer shoots. Ortel's down. It's loose. And it's in! Danny Palmer as the Raiders approach the circle. Morgan Willis, backhander. What a save. Great save by Ava Carlson. And Colgate hoping to generate something on the counterattack as Dartmouth sprints back. Palmer's pass in front. Argalagos is there. Scores! On a crisp day in central New York, we bring you to Colgate University for some Sunday college field hockey. The Raiders welcome the Dartmouth Big Green to Tyler's Field. Glad to have you here on ESPN+. I'm Eddie McCarthy. Both of these teams hoping to get back in the win column this afternoon. Colgate on a 2-game losing streak, although they have been playing some of their best hockey recently. April Cornell DeAngelis has been really pleased with her team's efforts over the course of the past couple of weeks. And then on the other side, Dartmouth, losers of 3 straight as they come in to Colgate here this afternoon. Dartmouth coached by Mark Egner in his 5th season with the team, his 6th year with the program. But he was actually hired before the COVID year, which, of course, the season did not happen that year. Zoe Schaefer for Dartmouth. Approaching the circle, some 3D skills there displayed. And Dartmouth is going to get their first corner. Some good work from Zoe Schaefer. Sets the table for Dartmouth on the opportunity. Colgate's defensive unit will now gear up behind the goal. It's the 85th penalty corner of the year for Dartmouth. Good enough for 5th in the Ivy League. Unsurprisingly, Dartmouth, a team that is 0-6, is towards the bottom in most statistical categories in the Ivy League, especially the offensive ones, but they're relatively middle of the pack in penalty corners. Georgia Thornton to insert. Comes up to the top. Shots coming in. A chance towards the back post. Blocked. Olivia Galiotos was the one who tried to work the weak side pass. And it's coming out for Colgate on the free hit. No score about 7 minutes in here in Hamilton. One of the colder games of the year for Colgate. We've had some unusually warm weather here in most of the month of October. A couple of 70-degree games going back a couple of Sundays here at Tyler's Field. But today, much more like an October game in central New York. 48 degrees, a little bit of wind. Both teams have got the parkas going on the bench. Though all of these players showing how tough they are, braving the elements. Very few players wearing Under Armours of any kind. In fact, Katarina Cohen, who just got things restarted for Dartmouth, is one of just 2 players on the field wearing any type of cold weather undershirt underneath her uniform. Here's Aria Dillon, who, like we said earlier, played every minute of that overtime match on Friday against Holy Cross. Dillon backtracks defensively. Cues a pass across for Kylie Wellis. Trying to dribble there around Ali Brogy. Brogy called for the violation. Solid start for Colgate in terms of possession. April Cornell DeAngelis has preached to her team all season long the importance of controlling time of possession. That has really been the key for them. The best test of how Colgate has played in matches this year has been to look at time of possession. If Colgate has the edge in time of possession, they've tended to have much better results here this year, and unfortunately for a lot of their Patriot League matches, part of the reason they are 0-5 and winless so far in Patriot League play is because it has been very difficult for them to work that possession and try and set up offensively against some of these teams in the Patriot League. American leading the way in the Patriot League. They're 5-0. Colgate lost to them 2-0 earlier this year. American has already clinched the #1 seed in the Patriot League tournament. If they win their final match next week against Holy Cross, American will go 6-0 in conference play, and they will win yet another regular season title in the Patriot League. Only other team to have clinched a spot in the Patriot League championship is Lafayette. They're 5-1. Leopards are done with Patriot League play. Their only loss this year coming to American. Here's Schmelzinger. Schmelzinger into the circle. A pass inside looking for Argalagos. Dartmouth does well defensively, and the Big Green will look to clear as this goes out of bounds. Katarina Cohen, the sophomore from Argentina, leaves it for Ruby Walsh. Played 10 minutes here in the first quarter, scoreless between Dartmouth and Colgate. Third time these two teams have met in the histories of their respective programs. Dartmouth 2-0. They've met in each of the past 2 years. 7-0 win at home last year for Dartmouth. 4 goals for the now graduated Amelia Callahan for the Big Green. Dartmouth won in overtime 5-4 back in 2023. Annie Lake tracks this down for Colgate. Again, the Raiders wearing pink socks today. It's the breast cancer awareness game for Colgate. Dartmouth wearing their regular green uniforms. However, the Big Green have contributed to the awareness effort by most of their players are wearing pink ribbons in their hair. Gemma Franco for Dartmouth, tied up there by Annie Lake. And it's ruled that Franco made contact with the ball with her foot, which of course you're not allowed to do in field hockey. And Annie Lake will get things restarted for Colgate. Dropping her stick was Kate Rose. And Dartmouth quickly on the restart. Spinning and a shot deflects just wide. Olivia Galiotos had the sweep. And it's going to be a long hit for Dartmouth. Comes out to the attacking 25. Quickly moved to Cohen. Cohen works in. Scores! Wow, what a shot by Katarina Cohen. Her first goal of the season. And Dartmouth takes the lead. The goal coming 12:01 into the first quarter.